Anu ya, banyak gerak ya.
Oh, memang.
Ya, boleh.
USB-nya baru.
Mulai Pak. Ya.
Silakan.
Ya, silakan. So, good morning students. Thanks for attending my class. The topic for today's session is on Memburu Kejahatan Terorganisasi or chasing organized crimes. I think we all aware on the importance of this topic as the prevalence of organized crime around the world is now, very breathtaking. So that's why I choose this topic, because again, I hope that this topic will enlighten you on the possibility of us to contribute something in regard to the eradicating organized crime either in Indonesia or in the world. Before I proceed further, then I should mention to you on the definition between organized crime as well as the other concept which is quite similar, that is criminal organizations, kejahatan organisasi and organisasi kejahatan. Because why? Because I have observation that people in general, mix those two concepts as it seems that they don't see the difference between the two. So I would like to underline you that actually, in regard to the organized crime as a concept, it consists of 1, 2, 3, more than seven categories, while for criminal organizations, it consists of only 3 categories. So by doing that, I want to emphasize you that that organized crime as a concept needs more requirements compared to criminal organizations as a concept. And finally, I can only mention you that by saying organized crime organizations is actually a part of organized crime, while on the other hand, not crime organizations, are undertaken by organized crimes. So because what? Because back to the definitions, definition of organized crimes clearly more stricter than criminal organizations. I have another way to explain you the difference between criminal organization and organized crime as a concept. I'm using the perspective of who actually the subject of law for the organized crimes as a concept. So I think I need to remind you that Indonesian's legal system, for example, recognize that people can be seen as a subject of law. Yeah? Not only people, but also a group of people. Yeah? Can also be seen as a subject of law, being liable in front of the law, and also brought to justice and to the court. Not only that, but also institutions. Yeah? It could be corporations, foundations, and also public service organizations can also be seen, can also be treated as a subject of law. Nowadays, here we are. There's also a progress that government officer, especially the high-ranking one, and also the state, can also be regarded, treated, and prosecuted as a subject of law. While we are still missing is the fact that Indonesia legal system does not recognize organizations, especially crime organizations, network, and family, as something that could be liable against in front of the law, as something that could be brought by the justice. So we haven't arranged that yet here in Indonesia, and this actually bring kind of implications when we need to enforce a network crime network, family that commit crimes altogether, as well as crime network, because without criminalizing organizations, network, and family of crime, then something that we can brought to justice is only the direct doer, the masterminder, the dagger. Yeah, while we certainly sure that outside those who commit crimes directly, they're also financier, they're also the cronies, also a member of organization, which has to a certain extent, directly or indirectly, relationship with a crime committed. Let me give you an example, ladies and gentlemen, students. For example, the case of Abu Bakar Basir. The gentleman was accused of, involving in the terrorist attack occurred a few years ago in Indonesia. Yeah. However, since the Indonesian legal system does not recognize network as a subject of law, then actually the maximum thing that Indonesian legal system can do against him is to implicate him since he fabricated the ID and the KTP. Since he did the crime himself, and we have to see the fact that the Indonesian legal system has to release him for much wider accusations regarding his involvement in a network scam. Let me give you another illustrations in regard to the money laundered in regard to the drug business. So he actually it is the picture that describes the complexities regarding the money being laundered while the drug businessmen have already got money. So they have illegal money, and then the illegal money have to be laundered prior being legal money. And for doing that, there are three steps: placement, layering, and integrations. And also there are some series of activities undertaken prior to that. So can we believe that for this kind of activities, there's only one person involved? Of course not. Yeah. Of course, more than one people involved, and all those people involved must be seen as a group, as a network, as a family even, yeah, to make the crime committed. So again, this actually establishes the importance of us, to identify a network, a family, or organizations as a subject of law, instead of treating one by one persons as individual that is responsible in front of the law. Another illustrations on the case of illegal logging, pembalakan liar. Again, there are complex ways of money being laundered by the illegal loggers before finally they get the clean money, and then by doing that they can use the clean money, to buy car, to buy houses, blah blah blah. So again, the bottom line is not only one person involved, even there are huge persons involved in that kind of scams, starting from the person who commit the illegal logging, and also even involving the high-ranking officers, to make things succeeded in regard to the illegal logging. Let me give you more clarification on what actually network is all about. Yeah. So network is actually very loose concept that could be applied either in the social setting situation, or even in the technology, in the manufacturing, or in the so-called demographic situations. There always be a network. Yeah. We rarely see a situation without the existence of network. Yeah. So network is actually basically the complex situation the part of network interrelates one to the other, and this kind of network could be a small one or could be a bigger one, either local or global or domestically situated in one country or even across countries. So again, by showing you that actually we are entering a very broad and uncertain situations where the organization can activate, can perform, and also can penetrate the economy as well as the political system in one country. So when we are aware of that situation, of that danger regarding the prevalence of organized crime as well as the possible negative impact that could be implicated by OC. So how could we deal with that? Yeah. So far, I can tell you that actually there are two strategies that have been employed by countries around the world. Whereas one of them has been followed by Indonesia as a country. One strategy is actually relates to the deployment of what we call as a RICO. RICO is actually a name of law. This is actually abbreviated of the Racketeer Influenced Corrupt Organizations, where this kind of law prohibits people from, for example, from cultivating profit from racketeering, for example. So, they have racketeering activities, but they are not allowed. They are restricted from exploiting the profit from that kind of activity, and also to invest money in regard to the racketeering activity. So it's also not prohibited, and for them who are involved in that, then the law must act on them. The police or other justice enforcement will arrest the people who invest money in racketeering related activity. That's one strategy. The other strategy, which is now very much popular, is regarding the adoption and ratification of Palermo Convention 2000. This actually could be mentioned using other words, is a common platform from all countries in regard to face the danger created by the TNOC, transnational organized crimes. By saying you TNOC, this is actually another development of simply OC. So OC could perform in one country, while so far in regard to the globalizations, the border situations across countries, then there is the new situations regarding the transnational organized crime. So these Palermo Conventions actually regulates three things in general. First is regulating the women and children trafficking. So how countries should react, how countries should enforce in regard to the women and children trafficking. The second is something in regard to the people smuggling. Why this Palermo Convention should concentrate on people smuggling? I can tell you that for this kind of OC activities, to smuggle people from less developing countries to the developed countries are very much a lucrative business. It creates a huge amount of money. Yeah, so that's why the people smuggling can be seen as a more growing and also promising business, which competes the profit generated by the drug business. So people smuggling business and drug business actually two business which is very much promising in the eyes of OC people, either now and the future. Yeah, and the last protocol is on the illegal weapon, illegal arms smuggled by illegal fabricators and then transported to the sea transportations to the conflict areas. And also, I can tell you that this is very much lucrative, profitable business, whereas OC people, are very much highly influenced in that kind of situations. Now I want to address something in regard to the definitions, the new definitions actually, addressed by the Palermo Convention. So again, I refer you back on the definitions of the organized crimes as I have already shown you in my first slide. It consists of 8 categories, while nowadays, using the Palermo Convention definition, actually the definition is much more simpler. Yeah? For example, the organized criminal group, according to the Palermo Convention, is directed to the structure group, consists of more than 2 people, where they unite in a certain period of time, directly or indirectly, yeah, for the commercial or for the economically purpose activities. So I want to emphasize you this, that even if we have a group that associated 2 people, can also be mentioned as organized crimes. That's actually the breakthrough provided by the Palermo Convention, you know, to touch upon, to approach organized crime in a more direct way. So I mean, just neglect those definitions that that prevent us from doing more active way in regard to the enforcement of organized crime. So by introducing more simple, flexible definitions according to the Palermo Convention, it is hoped that the enforcement against the organized crime can be more active, can be more successful. So students, now I wanna touch upon the very sexy issues, I can say that, on how to chase organized crime. So having realized the definition of organized crimes as mentioned by Palermo Convention, and also realizing the danger of organized crime if we did not react properly, then now it's time for us to know more on how to chase them using methods provided by the legal systems, so that we can one hand we enforce the law successfully, and the second eradicate the crime as phenomenon. So by doing that, we prevent the crime from occurring either now and the future. So in general, there are 8 methods in terms of chasing organized crimes. So now I will elaborate one by one, and I hope that you pay attention to that very carefully. Yeah? Now I specifically explain you on the system, on the method of control delivery. I can tell you that control delivery as a method in chasing organized crime is very much popular concerning the enforcement toward drug business. Yeah. So control delivery in Indonesia, we can understand it by penyerahan yang diawasi. So we have drug substance in the amount of for example 1 kilo or 2 kilo heroin, and then we allegedly give the drugs to the suspect dealer. And when we hand over the drugs to the suspect dealer, then it's actually the time that the police who bust the people, then the people can be caught red-handed. Yeah. So by doing that, we have to be very much sure that the backup, I mean the police who back us up, are very much accurate in terms of arresting the people, and making sure that the people arrested, brings the drugs that we just handed over, so that again, the principle of law that the people should bring the drug business prior arresting, can be maintained and implicated. So actually, we Indonesians have that kind of a legal system, as well as adopting international instruments. So by doing that, actually, Indonesian police officer, for example, should maintain the control delivery systems as something necessary to do. The second system, the second method to undertake in regard to chase organization is using undercover operation method. So undercover Indonesia we recognize as menyamar. Yeah? So by executing undercover buy or pembelian terselubung, so there is actually the difference between the control delivery. In control delivery, we supposed to be a person who has drugs to be sold. Yeah. While in regard to the undercover operations, we pretend to be a buyer. Yeah, we pretend to be a buyer. So we equip ourselves with a certain amount of money. Then we look for people who have drugs somewhere. And again, while when we executing the transactions, then actually it's about time for the officers to bust the people who has drugs, and then arrest them and then bring them to jail. Again, we actually has legal infrastructure either derived from Indonesian legal system or from outside Indonesian legal system. The third method that also could be executed in regard to the chasing organized crime is using electronic surveillance. Yeah. So the use of CCTV, for example, yeah, the closed circuit TV should be optimally used because by having electronic surveillance, then we can get a fresh and very strong evidence to be brought into justice, while there is a time for judges, for example, asking the evidence that corroborates the accusations against certain persons. Yeah. Now I move forward to fourth mechanism or models in regard to the chasing operation. Here we are. I can tell you on wiretapping systems, wiretapping methods. Again, to retract or to retrieve confessions produced from the people who are directly involved in the drug business, for example, or whether they perform the role as a courier, whether they perform the role as a financier, for example, then the clear confessions as tape using the wiretapping system that executed by special persons, it is very much beneficial to the success of enforcements, and finally could bring those people to jail. Yeah. Again, we actually have certain and sufficient legal infrastructure that Indonesian officer could rely upon. The other mechanisms that is very successful in regard to chasing organized crime is on the confiscation and seizure. So we know that the OC people have managed, yeah, to buy houses, to buy resort, to buy a ship, for example, using the drug business, using the illegal logging business, using the drug money or the illegal logging money, and all that. And it's very important to confiscate the assets, yeah, and then bring those assets to the justice, as we can secure the money. So we need a very strong legal backup that secure the Indonesian officer, for example, when there is a time for them to execute confiscation and seizure. And again, actually, back to the issue of whether we have adequate legal infrastructure. I can tell you that actually we have that kind of sufficient legal structure that backs Indonesian officer up in regard to the confiscation and seizure if it seems necessary to be undertaken. Yeah? Now I proceed to what we call as the financial investigations. Again, it's about money. Yeah. Once they get money from drug business, from arms smuggling, from the people smuggling and all that. So at the end they have money. I mean the OC people have money. So it's good to track down, to look for, you know, the path that has been left by them, so that at the end we know exactly where the money has gone and who actually in the last resort, you know, keep the money, keep the dirty money. So in regard to the financial investigations, again, our Indonesians money laundering system, for example, have provided sufficient mechanism to do that, as well as several enforcement agencies like the police, the PPATK, and the Bank Indonesia have prepared the specific MOU that could expedite the process of conducting the financial investigation if there is situations that push us to conduct financial investigations. I hope you still have some energy to listen to me. Now I proceed to the last one, actually, the last method in terms of chasing OC is what they call as asset tracing. So before we confiscate and we seize the asset, as I've already mentioned to you, first we need to trace the asset first. Yeah, we need to know where the money have been spent, where the money have been kept, where the money have been utilized, or even utilized either as a deposito or as a share for a company. I don't know. Yeah, so we need to trace the asset first using various ways, starting from cross-checking the financial disclosure of a company, since we believe that there is a suspicion, a legitimate suspicion that a company, for example, invested the so-called dirty money, could be, yeah, or by observing news advertisements or the announcements in regard to the settlements concerning the buying of apartment, of very luxury apartment, or buying of a resort villa, blah blah blah. So we have to open up our eyes, open up our ears, and then checking all the possibilities in regard to the possible assets that could be kept by the OC people due to the OC business. And if the asset tracing method have been properly implemented, actually we need more MLA support, mutual legal assistance support, as something which is efficient to expedite the recovery of asset, or the return of asset using a certain country's money to be brought to the homeland, to be a homeland country, something like that. Yeah. Another ways of chasing OC is by asking. Well, I use the term asking, but it's not asking per se. We actually put a situation for the certain witness, so that he has no options besides saying yes to us. Yeah, that's actually mentioned. That's actually the definition of collaborative witness. So we need to find a witness who collaborate to us exposing anything that he knows relating the OC, and by doing that we get strong evidence to bring the people that disclosed by our witness, to justice. Yeah. Well, there is a problem here in Indonesia if we want to execute the collaborative witness method optimally. Since Indonesian legal system, for example, has not recognized the principle of plea bargain. Yeah. The bargain where we can turn off, the testimony by a witness with the release of them. For example, sometimes it's not that easy for Indonesian officer, to undergo that kind of method, since there are very high reluctancy among judges, to see that method from executed. So students, at the end, I wanted you to think over a little bit. Yeah, despite of those 8 mechanisms which I have already mentioned to you, asset tracing, control delivery, undercover buying, and all that. The question is it enough? Is it enough to reach cupola? What actually I mean by cupola? Cupola is actually the Italian name of crown. Crown which is used by king, for example. Crown usually consists of gold and also another kind of jewelry. And on the top of the cupola, there is a very luxury and expensive like a pearl or even gold. So it indicates the top from the top. Yeah. But the question is, while we have already executed those kind of mechanisms to chase OC, is it enough? Is it sufficient to reach the people who have been on the top, who have been the mastermind of everything? So cupola is actually the name of boss of the bosses. There are bosses and there are boss over the bosses. Or you see, they tell them capo da tutti capi. Is it enough? This actually is something that Indonesian officers, as well as the other officers from all around the world, do not really, all still in doubt of that. So again, by implementing the Palermo Convention 2000s and adopting the Palermo Convention into a special clause, as Indonesia, for example, have already used that by ratifying Palermo Convention using the law number 5, 2009, then probably the cupola, the boss of the bosses, can be reached in one time. Yeah. Why I say that? Because back to what actually mentioned by Palermo Convention, there are some principles of evidentiary collections that makes everything easier. Yeah. Compared to if we use a conventional evidentiary model, which is complicated and difficult. So I can tell you at least 3 things that has been mentioned by Palermo Convention, and as I said before, that it could be seen as ad hoc way to make things easier, to provide strong evidence cases against the OC people. First, Indonesia, the officer, either Indonesian officer or other countries' officer, do not have to show strong evidence on whether or not there is an order prior committing crime. Back to the conventional criminal model, where we need that kind of an order to back up the accusation against certain people, so indicating that they actually just executing order in terms of killing people, in terms of asking money from other. So there's an order, and then that kind of order can can implicate certain people. So the issue of order here is not issue. Yeah. Once we believe that there is a network between one people and other people, it's enough to arrest them, to put the law's hands, and then bring them to justice. You see, this is a very progressive way of approaching the OC people. And the Palermo Convention also recognized the fact that the activity, the crime activity, must be undertaken continually, and including many people that deals with the crime activities. So by doing that, again, we believe that it is impossible for one single people, for example, to do drug business. One single people to do, for example, money laundering business, for example. But so again, by understanding that not only one people involved, then the issue of penalty, the issue of retribution, for example, or the issue of rehabilitation should be taken care, should be put into account the fact that actually more than one people involved in that kind of scheme. And the last one, as a way of making things easier, so the law needs one evidence, that somebody has actually leads an organization, and this kind of evidence, can be seen as a sufficient, again, to bring a person into a justice. Again, this kind of method is not recognized by traditional criminal law, but again, realizing the danger of OC, nowadays we have to do everything that we can do, to eradicate, to capture the OC phenomenon, and Palermo Convention have proved so far to be effective ways of on our effort to chase organized crimes, either here in Indonesia and in the world. So that's all from me, students. Sekian, terima kasih, and I expect questions as well as more clarification from you, and I hope that I can prepare a few minutes to question and answer sessions. Thank you.